Chapter 13, Followership based on Northouse PG Leadership, Theory and Practice, Sage Publications. Welcome back. In this video, we are exploring Chapter 13, Followership, a topic that challenges the old belief that leadership is all about the person at the top. Followership reminds us that great leadership depends on great followership and that followers are not passive bystanders but active participants in shaping leadership outcomes. This chapter asks us to rethink power, influence, and responsibility. Let's get started. What is followership? Followership is the process of accepting the influence of others to accomplish a common goal. It's not the opposite of leadership, it's a complementary process. Where leadership involves influencing others, followership involves being influenced in pursuit of shared purpose. Crucially, followers are not passive. They can be proactive, critical thinkers, change agents, even leaders themselves in different contexts. Historical context. From obedience to partnership traditionally, followers were viewed as subordinates, obedient, loyal, and dependent on the leader's direction. But contemporary followership theory shifts the focus to mutual influence, co-creation of leadership outcomes, empowered self-directed roles. This new lens opens the door to shared leadership, where leadership and followership are fluid, dynamic roles that people shift between. Theoretical approaches to followership. The chapter introduces two major perspectives. First is role-based perspective. This approach views followership as a formal position or role in an organization. Focus is on the behaviors expected of people who are not in designated leadership positions. Leadership is the process of influencing followers, and followership is being influenced. It's practical and widely used in organizational settings, but it tends to reinforce hierarchy. Second is relational-based perspective. This view defines followership as a social process co-created between leaders and followers. Leadership and followership are roles that emerge from interactions, not formal titles. The focus is on how people influence and respond to each other, shaping leadership dynamics together. This approach sees followers as agents in the leadership process, not just recipients of leadership. Typologies of followership. Let's look at two of the most well-known follower typologies introduced in the chapter. Kelley's follower typology. Kelley categorized followers based on two dimensions: independent critical thinking, active engagement. From these, he identified 5 follower types. First is alienated followers, think independently but are disengaged. Second is conformist followers, highly active but dependent on authority. Third is passive followers, neither critical nor active. Fourth is exemplary followers, independent thinkers who are fully engaged. Fifth is pragmatics. Adapt behavior based on context or leader style. Kelley emphasized that the ideal follower is the exemplary type, proactive, thoughtful, and invested. Chaleff's courageous followership model, 2009. Chaleff introduced a values-based approach emphasizing courage and responsibility. His model includes 2 key dimensions: support for the leader, willingness to challenge the leader. From these, Chaleff identified 4 follower styles. First is resource, low support, low challenge. Second is implementer, high support, low challenge. Third is individualist, low support, high challenge. Fourth is partner, high support, high challenge. The goal is to be a partner, someone who both supports and challenges the leader for the sake of the mission. Theoretical framework. Reversing the lens, Albion et al., 2014. This model encourages us to look at followership as proactive influence rather than passive reaction. Key ideas. Followers can affect leader behavior. They can shape outcomes, offer feedback, and create accountability. Leadership is seen as a dynamic exchange, not a one-way directive. It challenges the idea that only leaders are responsible for vision, ethics, and results. Follower characteristics that matter. Research shows that certain follower traits influence the leader-follower relationship: confidence and competence, integrity and trustworthiness, initiative and motivation, self-management, willingness to challenge the leader when needed. These are the same traits we often associate with strong leaders, further proof that followership is active, not passive. Leadership outcomes shaped by followers play a key role in shaping team climate and morale, ethical boundaries and accountability, leader decision making, organizational performance, whether toxic leadership is enabled or stopped. Strong followership can protect organizations from failure and elevate leaders from good to great. Strengths of followership theory highlights the power of followers, shifts leadership from being leader centric to relationship centric, encourages shared responsibility. Leadership is not one person's job, it's a system of interactions, applicable to any level. Everyone is a follower at some point, even those in formal leadership roles. Bridges leadership and ethics. Encourages courage to challenge when necessary. Offers practical models. Typologies like Kelley's and Chaleff's offer useful tools for development. Criticisms of followership theory. Still emerging. The field lacks a cohesive, widely accepted framework. Follower agency is hard to measure, especially when power structures are rigid. Cultural variation. Expectations of followership differ across cultures. Possible romanticization. A risk of overstating how much influence followers actually have in hierarchical settings. Still, followership theory opens up critical conversations about shared leadership, accountability, and participation. Public health example. Picture a community health coalition tackling environmental health disparities. Not everyone is the official leader, but some followers. Research local data. Question assumptions. Organize public testimony. Offer constructive pushback. And actively support the mission. That's exemplary followership in action. It makes leadership more responsive, more ethical, and more effective. To wrap up, followership isn't about following orders, it's about engaging in purpose. Great followers lead from wherever they are. They speak up, take initiative, and challenge with courage when needed. In today's world, leadership isn't a solo act, it's a partnership, and understanding followership is what makes that partnership powerful. This video is based on Chapter 13 of Leadership, Theory and Practice by Peter Northouse. Coming up next, Chapter 14, Gender and Leadership, where we explore how identity, culture, and power shape leadership perceptions and experiences. Until then, lead well, follow well, and make both count.